Welcome to our channel, friends. Today, we embark on a journey into the depths of human experience, exploring the profound ways in which trauma leaves its mark, not just on our minds, but on the very fabric of our being. We'll be diving into the profound insights of The Body Keeps the Score, a book that has revolutionized our understanding of trauma and its far-reaching effects. Trauma is not just about the events themselves, but about how those experiences live on within us, shaping our perceptions, our emotions, and even our physical health. If you've ever felt stuck in patterns of anxiety, fear, or reactivity, even when you couldn't quite put your finger on why, this video is for you. And if you find this exploration resonates with you, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss out on future conversations about healing, resilience, and the power of human connection. You see, trauma is often misunderstood as something reserved for soldiers returning from war, or individuals who've experienced catastrophic events. While it's true that these experiences can be deeply traumatic, the reality is that trauma is far more pervasive and can affect anyone. Trauma doesn't discriminate. It can touch the lives of people from all walks of life, regardless of age, gender, or background. It's not just about the event itself, but about the impact, the lasting imprint it leaves on our nervous system, on our very cells. The way our bodies and minds respond to these events can vary greatly. Trauma can stem from a multitude of experiences, some seemingly smaller than others, yet no less impactful. It can be a single, overwhelming event or a series of smaller, chronic stressors that accumulate over time. It can be the chronic neglect we endured as children, the lack of emotional support and care that left us feeling isolated and unworthy. The emotional invalidation that left us feeling unseen and unheard can be just as damaging as physical harm, creating deep wounds that affect our self-esteem and relationships, or the repeated experiences of bullying that chipped away at our sense of self-worth, making us question our value and place in the world. Trauma rewires the delicate circuitry of our brains, throwing our nervous systems into a state of perpetual high alert. This constant state of vigilance can be exhausting and debilitating. The amygdala, that ancient part of our brain responsible for detecting threats, becomes hyperactive, constantly scanning for danger, even when we're safe. This hypervigilance can make it difficult to relax and feel secure. Imagine living with a smoke detector that's perpetually going off, even when there's no fire. This is the reality for many trauma survivors, where their bodies are always on edge, ready to respond to perceived threats. That's what it's like to navigate the world with a traumatized brain. Everyday situations can become overwhelming, and the ability to process and respond appropriately is compromised. The prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for rational thought, planning, and emotional regulation, becomes overwhelmed, its ability to soothe and reason diminished. This can lead to difficulties in making decisions and managing emotions. This is why trauma survivors often find themselves stuck in cycles of fear, anxiety, and reactivity, even when they consciously know they're safe. The body remembers the trauma, and the mind struggles to break free from its grip. Their bodies and minds are trapped in a past they can't escape, reacting to present-moment triggers as if they were still living in the midst of danger. Understanding this can help us approach trauma with greater empathy and support for those affected. Now here's where things get really interesting. Trauma isn't just an abstract psychological phenomenon. It embeds itself deep within our bodies, leaving its mark on our very cells. This means that the experiences we go through, especially the traumatic ones, don't just vanish into thin air. They leave a lasting imprint, a kind of cellular memory that can influence our physical and emotional well-being for years to come. You see, the body keeps the score. It remembers what the mind tries to forget. This is why certain memories, even if they are not consciously recalled, can still affect us deeply. Our bodies hold on to these memories, sometimes in ways that we might not even be aware of. Have you ever noticed a tightness in your chest when you recall a stressful event? This isn't just a random physical reaction. It's your body's way of signaling that something is wrong, that there is unresolved tension or fear that needs to be addressed, or perhaps a knot in your stomach that seems to have a mind of its own. This sensation can be a manifestation of anxiety or stress that has been stored in your body, waiting for a moment to be released. These are not mere coincidences. They are the body's way of telling its story, of expressing the unresolved pain that words often fail to capture. Our bodies have their own language, a language of sensations and symptoms that can tell us a lot about our emotional state. When we experience trauma, our autonomic nervous system, that intricate network that governs our fight or flight response, gets stuck in overdrive. This system is designed to protect us from danger, but when it becomes overactive, it can cause a lot of problems. Our bodies become flooded with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing us to fight or flee from perceived threats. These hormones are useful in short bursts, but when they are constantly being released, they can wreak havoc on our health. But when the danger is chronic, when it's relational, when it's woven into the fabric of our daily lives, our nervous systems don't get the memo that it's safe to come down from that state of high alert. This constant state of vigilance can be exhausting and damaging. We remain in a state of chronic stress, our bodies bracing for impact, even when there's no immediate threat. This can lead to a host of physical and mental health issues, including insomnia, anxiety, and depression. This chronic activation takes a toll on our physical health, increasing our risk for a whole host of ailments, from chronic pain and inflammation to autoimmune disorders and even heart disease. The longer we stay in this state, the more damage it can do. Traditional talk therapy, while valuable, often falls short because it focuses primarily on the mind, neglecting the profound wisdom and the deep-seated pain held within the body. To truly heal, we need to address both the mind and the body. To truly heal from trauma, we must learn to listen to our bodies, to decipher the language of sensation, and to offer compassion and care to the wounded parts of ourselves that have been crying out for attention. This holistic approach can help us to release the trauma stored in our bodies and find true healing. Now for the good news. While the impact of trauma can be profound and far-reaching, healing is always possible. It may not be an easy journey, but with the right tools and support, it is within reach for everyone. It's about understanding that true healing is not about erasing the past, but about transforming our relationship to it. This transformation allows us to integrate our experiences into a cohesive narrative that empowers us rather than holds us back. It's about learning to befriend our bodies, to listen to their whispers, and to offer them the compassion and care they deserve. Our bodies hold the stories of our lives, and by tuning into them, we can begin to heal from the inside out. One powerful approach to healing trauma is through EMDR, eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. This therapeutic technique has been shown to be highly effective in helping individuals process and resolve traumatic memories. EMDR helps to reprocess traumatic memories, allowing the brain to move them from a state of frozen activation to a place of integration and resolution. This process can bring a sense of relief and closure, enabling individuals to move forward with their lives. It's like taking those fragmented, distressing memories off the shelf, gently dusting them off, and placing them in a photo album where they can exist without hijacking our present moment experience. This metaphorical reorganization helps us to see our past in a new light. Another profound pathway to healing lies in the ancient practices of yoga and meditation. These practices have been used for centuries to promote physical, mental, and emotional well-being. These practices help us to reconnect with our bodies, to cultivate a sense of inner stillness, and to regulate our nervous systems, calming the storms of anxiety and fear that so often accompany trauma. By grounding ourselves in the present moment, we can find peace amidst the chaos. And then, there's the power of creative expression. Whether it's through art, music, dance, or writing, creative expression allows us to explore and communicate our innermost thoughts and feelings. Music, dance, or writing, creative expression allows us to tap into the non-verbal realms of our experience, giving voice to the emotions and memories that often lie beyond the reach of words. This can be incredibly liberating and healing. Creative expression allows us to tap into the non-verbal realms of our experience, giving voice to the emotions and memories that often lie beyond the reach of words. It's about finding a language that resonates with the depths of our being, a language that allows us to express the inexpressible and to find solace in the act of creation itself. It's about finding a language that resonates with the depths of our being, a language that allows us to express the inexpressible and to find solace in the act of creation itself. This process can be a powerful way to process and release pent-up emotions. But perhaps the most essential ingredient in the healing journey is the power of safe, supportive relationships. These connections provide the foundation for trust and security, which are crucial for healing. Trauma thrives in isolation, but healing emerges in connection. When we feel seen, heard, and understood by others, we can begin to let go of the shame and isolation that often accompany trauma. It's in the presence of safe, attuned others that we learn to trust again, to let down our defenses, and to allow ourselves to be seen and loved for who we truly are. This sense of belonging and acceptance is a powerful antidote to the wounds of trauma. Thank you for watching. As we conclude our exploration of The Body Keeps the Score, I want to leave you with a message of hope and possibility. Trauma may leave its mark, but it does not have to define us. Healing is a journey, not a destination, and it's a journey we don't have to take alone. Remember, your body is your ally, your emotions are your teachers, and your story is your own. By embracing the wisdom of your experiences, by tending to the wounded parts of yourself with compassion and care, and by seeking out the support of safe and loving others, you can begin to write a new chapter in your life story, a chapter filled with healing, resilience, and the boundless potential of the human spirit. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone who might benefit from this information, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on trauma, healing, and the power of human connection. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.